Hey guys, hopefully you are doing well. Harry here, and today I'm making a video on data analysis, right? So today we're gonna talk about data cleaning challenge, right? So you can see in front of your screen, I'm on the Kaggle website, right? You get the free data from there to learn data analysis, right? So we are working today on the Pakistan data set, right? So it says data cleaning challenge, inconsistent data entry 5, right? So yeah, this is the data from Kaggle, right? So I'm gonna use a Jupyter notebook, and it is famous for interactive Python notebook, right? So I have downloaded those data, and I'm pretty much have uploaded over here, right? So now I can gonna just press this button over here. It's give me the more block for the coding, so we are focusing on block coding, right? And same time we have a generative AI over here, so which probably gonna save our time, right? So we're gonna use a AI to perform our data analysis, right? So guys, let's start and let's move on. Right guys, so first thing first, I'm gonna import my libraries, right? So I'm gonna say import numpy as np, and I'm gonna say import pandas. So we are using AI inside our Jupyter notebook, so it has gave me automatically a suggestion. I can import pandas, I can import matplot, and I can import seaborn, right? So now I'm gonna press tab. So I'm gonna press shift enter. After that my library has been imported, right? So it's really simple. So second is I'm gonna import my data set. So for that I will define df, then I will say df equal to pd dot read csv, right? And I'm gonna mention over here my data set Pakistan dot csv, right? So I'm gonna encode, right? So encoding, you say Unicode scape, right? So I'm just gonna check dot maybe shape, right? So now you can see over here my data set has been loaded. It has 496 rows and 26 columns, right? So I'm gonna see the first top head columns dot head. So this will give me the top 5. So I'm gonna press shift enter. Now you can see over here those are the top 5. Start from 0, right? So 0 1 2 3 4, oops, sorry, 1 2 3 4 5. That's been 0 1 2 3 4. That's exactly a 5. So we're starting from 0 as a considering as a 1, right? So df dot tail, right? I'm gonna load the bottom one, 5 bottom one, right? 495, 494, 493, 492, and 491, right? So now another thing is I have to do one more analysis, df dot columns, right? So this will give me the name of all the columns over here, right? So now you can see those are the all the name of columns, right? And if I say is lan df dot columns, right? So this will give me the total columns, that's 26, right? So but I've already mentioned over here that's the 26 columns, right? So now like I can make a comment on the top. I will say loading top 5 rows, right? And we can say loading, oops, sorry, loading top, sorry, loading bottom 5 rows, right? So that's how you make comments over here, right? And another one is that's one is the number of the columns we have, and this one is probably we don't need, right? So yeah, now we have to check how many missing value inside our data set, right? So checking missing values, right? I'll say df dot is null, right? Open and close parenthesis dot sum and open and close parenthesis. I'm just gonna run this. Now you can see those are all those missing values over here, right? So that's mean we have nearly 424 holiday type, the maximum missing value, and in Islamic date we have 154, and blast day type we have 10, right? So about the data set, right? So the data set was about the suicide attack inside Pakistan, right? There's a lot of Pakistani people are facing difficulties, right? So, and these are the data set which is actually define like how many suicide attack has been happened inside the Pakistan, right? So this data set is quite open over the Kaggle, right? You can see over here, and you will find all the contacts, and you can read over here. It says world has seen 3,600 suicide bombing attack in over 40 countries since 1982. So suicide bomb has wrecked in Pakistan in the last decade over only for a couple of attack before 200. It kept escalating after the US operation enduring freedom in Afghanistan. So well, we are not dealing with the propaganda, right? But like we just want to know like what are the patterns we can find inside this, right? So there's a lot of project people has did over here, so we just gonna do our part of our work over here, right? So let's see how many total we have, right? df dot let's say is null, right, dot sum, right? So I'm just gonna sum up everything. We have total 2586 missing values, right? So I will type over here total missing values, right? So those are all checking missing values. These are the total missing values we have, right? Okay, let me see, standard runtime continue with GPU, right? So I'm just gonna save this. In case for saving, you can press the Control S. So let's move now into the text pre-processing, right? So what we can do over here is I'm just gonna write on this top over here on this block, let's say text processing. So sorry, text pre-processing, right? So I will say df, right, let's say df dot head one time again. So let's check what we have over here. So we don't need the first column, right? Second one is date, that's fine. So Islamic date also fine. Same with those other columns look fine. So we have to just remove this one first, right? So for this I'm gonna do df dot drop, right, column. I'm gonna define the column, right, and I'll say in place true, right? So df to drop right, so then df dot head, can see over here. So now we have removed those columns, right? So I'm gonna start with the city first, right? So C capital dot unique. I want to see what are the unique city inside our city, right? So I'm just gonna run this. So now we have Islamabad, Karachi, we have a lot of over here, right? So but I have to store this into the cities, right? So I can sort this out. So I will sort this out into ascending order, right? Okay, so now you can see over here we have some similar, right? Those are capital, those are small letter, right? And you can see those are capital, sorry, there is a white space between them, right? And these are also similar, right? So just look at this. I can show you some problem due to inconsistent data entry over here, right? So you can see over here those are, right, those are have a similar, but there's a white space and there's a caps lock, right? Because of the caps lock and the lowercase, and because of that, you know, like it is inconsistent, right? So the first thing we do is to make everything lowercase. We can change it back at the end if we like it, right? And we can also remove any white space at the beginning and entry of the cell. So inconsistent is capitalizations and trailing white space are very common in text data, and you can fix a good 80% of the text data entry inconsistent, right, by doing this. So let me show you the method, right? So what we can do is we can just type df, right, and we'll type city, right, equal to df uh, let's say df dot city dot str dot lower. This will convert all of the column into the lower case, right? Let me show you. So wait, hold on. Look like we made some mistake over here. This should let me get in, but we can do one thing again. Just put like this, city, right? Okay. Oops, sorry. Oh my god. City dot unique. Okay, there we go. Now you can see over here those are all converted into the small case, right? So next step I'm gonna do is to remove the white space, right? City dot str, that stand for string, then stripe, right? So open and close. Now I'm just gonna copy this, right? I'm just gonna delete this block and gonna paste this, and I'm gonna run this, right? So now you can see over here I have converted them into the small case, and some of them has automatically got fixed, right? Right, guys, so you also have seen over here, right? So di there's a white space over here, then Khan, same over here, there's no white space, right? But those are the similar, right? So to fix this we're gonna use fuzzy wuzzy, right? So I'm gonna import fuzzy wuzzy, right? So I'm just gonna import this, right? So oops, no module found. Sorry, I need to install this, right? So because I'm using this online collab, so just gonna copy this. So this should give me access to this fuzzy wuzzy, right? So yeah, so it's working right now. So our library has been imported, right? So uh, uh, let's have a look, right? So we are going to use fuzzy wuzzy package to help to identify which string are closest to each other, right? So this dataset is small tough and is more complex because of the strings, right? This could need to be correct, and that approach doesn't our last approach didn't scale up really well, so now we have to use a fuzzy wuzzy, right? So you won't always be relying on fuzzy wuzzy matching 100%, but it will usually end up saving at least little time, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna write matches equal to fuzzy wuzzy, right? Then I'm gonna say process dot extract, right? Process dot extract. I'm looking for d dot I Khan. Oops, sorry, Khan, and I'll say cities, right? And limit equal to, oops, sorry, equal to 10, and let's say scorer equal to fuzzy wuzzy dot fuzz dot token sort ratio, right? I'm not looking for the partial sort ratio, but I'm looking for fuzz dot token sort ratio, right? I'm gonna see its matches I'm just gonna run this, right? So now you can see over here d dot white space, right? So you can see the white space one has 100 and di Khan is 100, so dg Khan is 88, right? So so now what we're gonna do is we have to fix this, right? And to fix this, uh, we probably need to replace the match, right? So we have to we can see now there's a two item in the cities that are very close, right? So these are the one, right? And we also can see that DZ Khan, right? So especially the DZ Khan is a separate city, has a ratio of 88. And since we don't want to replace DZ Khan with DI Khan, let's replace all rows in our city columns have a ratio of greater than 90, right? So let's say greater than 90 with DI Khan, right? So to do this, we're gonna write a functions, right? And specifically this keep you having to copy and paste order too often, so which save time and can help prevent mistake, right? So okay, so let's make a function over here, right? So let's say def replace matches in columns, right? Well, this one is suggesting me something, so but I'm gonna say column, right? I'm gonna say df dot column, right? String to match ratio, I'm gonna put ratio something like 90. Oh, sorry, 90. And suggesting me again the token does look alright. String equal to df column dot unique match fuzzy wuzzy dot process to extract limit 10. That's look fine. Then we have a close match. Okay, that's also look fine. And row switch match, does also look fine. And I also want to make a print all done, right? So let's run this and says this code maybe to a license code plus. Okay, so okay, perfect. So this AI is quite interesting, right? So when I was about to find a replace match in column, this automatically suggested me which code I should look for, right? So okay, that's really cool, right? So I will say replace matches, right? So those are the exact I'm looking for. So now it says all done. So I'm gonna do now is a simple thing. I'm just gonna copy this code again, right? Gonna paste over here and I'm gonna run this. So now we can see over here, so di Khan is a single now, and same with the dz Khan, right? And about the talk, right? So now we have basically we have actually completed our text processing, sorry, text pre-processing, right? So this is the way we can replace those word, especially repeating word, into uppercase. Sometimes there are a lot of white space, right? So we can use fuzzy wuzzy, not all the time, but we can use most of the time, right? And of course this was a really cool process, right? So guys, let's move on. So now next is we are working with date and time, right? So um so the text pre-processing has been done, right? So now we're working with date and time, right? So we're gonna use a date and time column, right? So df, right? So I will say date, so sorry, date, right? Right, so unique, right? Can see those are the unique dates, right? So before that I'm gonna import my library. I'm gonna say from date time import date, right? So unique dot head, if I can keep it short. Oops, ups. You know what, just take a head, so that will give me the few date, right? So 5 dates, right? So yep, those are the dates, but just because we can understand that, it doesn't mean that the computer understand them as so. Notice that at the bottom of the output of the head, you can see that if it says that the date time of the column is object, right? So you can see over here date time, it says object. So pandas use the object data types for sorting various type of data types, but most often when you see a column with the data types object, right, it's will have string in it. So if you check the pandas data type documentation here, you will notice that there is also a specific date time 64 data types, right? Because the data types of our columns is object rather than data time, sorry, date time 64. We can tell the Python doesn't know that this columns contain dates, right? So what we're gonna do is probably we're gonna use just a simple case, right? We're gonna say df dot date, right? So d type, right, you can see now it says object, right? So you can you may have to check the numpy documentation to match the letter code to the data types of the object, right? Is the code for, so this symbol defined your object. So we can see that these two given method for the same informations, right? What most probably we can do is we can do like df date, oops sorry, date, right, equal to pd dot to date time df dot date, right? And we're gonna format this as formate, right, sorry, mat format, and we're gonna use day, month and year, right? So or we can use something like percentage b percentage d, and okay, let's try this one, right? Oops sorry, there's some mistake over here. D, okay, so yeah, this one look fine. So df dot date dot head, I'm just gonna, oops sorry, I'm just gonna run this again, gonna fix this head. So now you can see over here those data types shows over here date time 64, right? So we have year, and we have months and days over here, right? So now we have changed data type object to our data types date and time, right? So yeah, that's the one, right? So now let's move on into another section, right? Right guys, so now we are dealing with duplicates and fixing spelling mistake, right? So now we're gonna use a replace method to fix those spelling size. So I'm just gonna go to the columns now. So guys, we know about the city, right? So the best thing to deal with this data set, right, especially you want some you want some insight through visualization over here, then we should focus on city, right? We should focus on time, sorry, date, we should focus on city, and we should focus on province, right? So with this we can get the overall insight, right, the top insight, because most of them has the 9 values, and of course there's a lot of missing values, right guys? So I will try to like get a little bit more insight from this data set, right? So for that we have to fix few of bit more. So let's say df dot province, right? So I'm gonna look through the province now, and I'm gonna put a unique province, right? So okay, so now it says capital Sindh, Balochistan, Punjab, FATA, KPK, AGK, Fatah and Balochistan, right? So we have to look into Google how many province in Pakistan, right? So Pakistan has 4 provinces, right? Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Punjab and Sindh, right? So Pakistan also has the Islamabad capital territory and 2 dispute territory, Azad, Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit Baltistan, right guys. I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing, so I have no intention to mispronounce, just my accent, and of course, like, I'm just trying to do my best to pronounce this better, right? So anyway, so let's work out. So df dot head, right? I'm just gonna print the head. On the head, you can see over here, that's the capital, right? Is come inside the Islamabad, right? So I'm just copy the Islamabad, gonna paste this. So Islamabad is the capital of Pakistan, and Islamabad is the capital of Pakistan. It's a okay. So is Islamabad in Punjab or KPK? Islamabad is located in the Pothra Plateau in the northeast part of country with the Islamabad capital territory. I want to know where it's exactly. Islamabad, uh, which city, right? So it says 10th largest city. Uh, okay, let's just close the Wikipedia, right? So Republic of Pakistan. Okay, so it shows in a map, right? It says capital. That's why it's written capital over there, right? uh, Located in the northern plateau of northern Punjab region, right? So what we have to do over here is we have to impute this capital with the Punjab. Sorry, we have to replace, not impute, replace. Impute is something like we are replacing the NaN value, but we are just replacing some different element with a different uh, element, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say df, right? So province, right? So df dot province equal to df province. So guys, if you really want to save time, you can also do like df straight away, right? So df dot province, right? And sorry, equal to df dot province, right, dot str dot lower, which will convert into a lower case. Df dot province equal to df dot province dot stripe. So I'm gonna convert that into the lower case, and of course remove the white space from there. I'm just gonna paste over here and gonna run this. Now you can see all converted into a small letter. So I'm gonna try another one. So province, oh sorry, let's do a same way. Province equal to df dot province, right, dot replace. So I'm gonna replace capital to Punjab, capital to Punjab. Oh sorry, I don't need this parentheses, can just do directly, right? Look like some spelling mistake I have made over here. Provin C, yes. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this again, I'm gonna paste over here. So now you can see over here we have Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, Fata, KPK, Azad Kashmir, right? So I'm just gonna copy this again, right? So instead of, I think like this is the correct spelling, I think this is the wrong one, right? So I'm just gonna copy this and check in a Google. So Balochistan, so BALO, right? So BALO is the correct spelling, so I have to replace this one. I'm just gonna copy this and paste over here and replace with the correct name. So now I'm gonna run this, get more, right? So I will say df dot province unique, right? So now you can see over here we actually managed to fix this, right? So let's try with city dot unique, right? So in city maybe we have something which we need to fix. This look fine. Okay, I'm just having a quick analysis. You know what, I cannot see like this. So for that, I still need to sort them into the ascending order. Cities dot sort. If I can sort them to the ascending order. Try to put these cities over here. Now we have a B, B, C, C, D, D, F, G, Gujarat, Hangu, Khyber Agency, Kuram Agency. There we go. That's the double we have, Kuram Agency, Kuram Agency. I'm just gonna copy one of this and I'm gonna check in the Google which is the correct one. So double are meant to be the correct one, right? So that's the one we want, right? So we're gonna replace this one, right? So we're gonna fix this. Then another one, let's see. Muhammad Agency and Muhammad Agency, right? So something is wrong over here. Muhammad Kasal and Muhammad Agency. So let's try this. Okay, so that's maybe a different entity, right? But there's a comma over here, and Multan or North Waziristan, right guys? If I'm mispronouncing, I'm really sorry. I'm just going through each element, its strings over here. Okay, that's cool. So I'm just gonna replace this one, right? This one will make a little bit more difference. Sorry, this one, right? So I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna say df dot city, right, equal to df dot city dot we have already in a lower string, we will say replace. So I'm gonna define the mistake one, then I'm gonna use the one I want exactly the correct name. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this again, gonna delete this and gonna paste here. I'm gonna rerun this. So let's see, Kuram Agency, there we go, right? So we have fixed it now. Okay, so that's look really cool. So what we can do next, right, we can do is just a simple data visualization, right? So we're gonna make a simple visualization, right? So I'm gonna show you which province has the most number of crime and which city has the most number of crime, right? And beyond that we're not gonna see anything, right? And we're gonna finish this video over there, right? Right guys, so our main objective to do the data visualization is the city and the province, right? So first we're gonna see which city has the highest incident, right? So for that I'm gonna define df dot city, right? So it will let me iterate inside the city, then value counts, right? It will give me the counts of those values. So you can see like I have the number of count of how many time each has occurred, right? So if I want to know the top of them, so I can say had 10. So that this will give me the top 10, right? So top 10, but I'm looking for overall, right? So then I will say plot, that will give me access to plot, right? I will just press enter and now you can see there's a line plot, but we're not looking for line, we're looking for bar. Then we'll mention kind equal to, then we'll put a bar, right? Then we will give a comma, we'll say fixed size, right? We'll mention in open and close parentheses 10 for our basically your width and 6 is your height, right? So I'm gonna press enter. Now it will give me a bar plot. Now you can see the bar plot. I'm just gonna make this a little bit beautiful. I will say plt dot title city. So this will give me the title city, right? And if I say plt dot x level, so our x level will be city, y will be our count of the frequency, right? So basically it will be the count, and I will say plt dot I will say grade, right? Grade true. And so we will have a grid line inside our plot, right? And we'll have line style will be a dash line. Then will alpha will be like how faded that line need to be, grid line. I will say 50%. So this will give me the 50%, right? And I'll make it more low. I'll make it 3 and I will say plt dot excel line, right? If I have a mean line, let's say the mean one, mean line, how much the mean line will come, right? So so this is the mean, right? But we're not looking for the mean because it's quite skew, so we're looking for the median. So if I can say median, so it should give me the median line. That's a median line. Anyway, that's, we don't need that, right? We just need to know like what is the maximum amount, right? And we'll take like some of the top 10. So if I will just paste this over here instead, over here of mentioning all, I will mention the head, right? So top 10. So those are the top 10 cities with the highest crime in Pakistan. That's a Peshawar, Kuwait, Quetta, sorry, Swat, Karachi, Lahore, North Waziristan, Banu, Islamabad, Rawal, Pindi, and Hangu. Right, so you can see over here is basically going downward, and the list. Let's try the list one, right? For list one, we can just do one thing. We can just put tail over here instead of head, right? We put a tail over here. Now you can see those are almost common. There's only a single count. It says Tangi, Chirasada district, Pishin, and Bakkar. Sorry guys, if I'm mispronouncing the name, then I'm really sorry, right? I'm not doing that for intentionally, but just uh, I'm not good in that, right? So okay, so I'm just gonna copy this again, right? Instead of city, I'm gonna use a province, right? So I'm gonna replace all this. You can just press a tab, right? So sorry, you can press alt into your keyboard if you're using a window. Then you can just mark on the city where you are using a city, right? So I'm just gonna replace this with province if I'm correct. Just gonna press enter. There we go, guys. So we got the province again, right? So now in the province you can see we have just script those, right? We have replaced those columns. With the province, right, instead of city, and we have used the same formula to count the value, right? We are using a bar plot, right? And same time we have the grid line. So you can see the highest in like KPK, and the second is Punjab, third is Fata, fourth is Balochistan, fifth is Sindh, and sixth is AJK, right? So these are the what insight we has received right now, right? So we're just gonna remove these, right? And this is the all the data analysis we have did, right? We have pre-process. Let's start from again, right? So we have imported a library, then we have load our data set, then we have inspect our data set, our inspecting, then we have checked the missing value. There's lot of missing value, and those are very sensitive data, so we cannot impute those, but we can only find insight through fixing those mistakes. So I have removed the first column because those are not those are not in use, right? This is just a serial number, right? So we are actually have the index over here, so that index can define our serial number. And after that after that we have inspected the city, we have converted into the lowercase, we have removed the white space, then we have checked the unique value, then we have found some of them are similar but they have a white space, then we have used the fudgy wudgy to fix those, right? And remember one thing, we also need to know that there was a more mistake over there, there was a more error we have fixed through lowering and striping. After lowering and striping, the remember a toke, there was a capital atok, and after we convert into a lowercase, both of them combine into a same type of rows, right? Because of the cities, I mean like same category, right? Not same time, in same category, right? So after that, using the fudgy wudgy process, we have find out what are the ratio of those words, right? And then we have replace match in columns, right? And after that we have fixed those areas, then we fixed the date and time. Date and time was originally in an object, right, which was in a case of string. Then we have fixed those into our date time 64 data types, right? Then we have a duplicate and spelling mistakes, right? So then we have fixed the spelling mistakes, right? And we through same process, lowering all those elements and removing the white space from there, then replacing each of them, like capital was actually a Punjab, capital city was a Punjab, so instead of capital we have replaced them into the Punjab, right? And sorry, province, right? Sorry, province, not city, right? So I'm really sorry for that. And in province, now you can see we have Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, but before we are before we did the replacement over here, there was a capital, one more rows which are known as the capitals, right? So we have replaced those capital with the Punjab, right? So all those capital rows are now the part of a Punjab, right? So similarly, there was a mistake on Balochistan, and it was actually a Balochistan. It's actually BALO instead of BALU, so we have replaced BALU with the BALOs, right? So then same with there was a mistake in the city Kurram agency, that's meant to be double R. And after that we fixed that and we start visualizing those data. Then we found out that Peshawar has the highest amount of incident count, right? And similarly on the if we look up to province, that KPK has the highest amount of incident, right guys? Hopefully you enjoy this video. I will see you on a next video of the data analysis, right guys? And have a nice day.